So I wanted to document a couple other things while I'm in here. In order to tell whether or not the valves are opening and closing properly, this is the air exhaust. This is what goes into the overhead. So it comes out of, this is the heating unit and again, this is a 680FP twin commander. I'm probably not going to be able to show you, but inside of here you can actually see the valves, and the service manual goes into this, but there's an open port that is actually the fresh air that comes in, and then there's two valves that are sitting beside each other in this particular heating unit. I think they're over the top of each other in the older ones, but this little thing, if you take this hose that you see hanging here, take it loose, you can actually see in there to see the valves opening and closing to make sure that the pressurization system is working properly. Mine wasn't. The valves were not. In fact, this particular valve here in the front, this is the valve here. They call this an actuator. It actually wasn't working, and so we thought the motor was bad. We replaced the motor, still couldn't get it to work, and I realized that the thing has limiting switches on it that actually starts and stops the motor as to whether it's going to go forward or reverse. And I got to thinking, well, if someone took this off, say they took this hose loose and they actually pushed their finger in there to check the valve to make sure that it was working, and they pushed it to the full open position, for example, while the limiting switch inside of this actuator was set to full closed, then the valve is never going to close, because it's going to think it's closed the whole time, and it's never because of the limiting switches, it's never going to be able to go the other way. And so just to test it, I closed the valve and hooked everything back up, and sure enough, that's what the problem was. So just a note, if you do stick your fingers into these valves while the system is shut down, you don't really know the state of this actuator, and you can actually cause the thing to get out of sync. So the only way to fix that is to put it into a mode where you know what the valve is shut or open. Put it in that position, turn the master on, and let this actuator move to that full position, whatever it happens to be, open or closed, and then hook everything up, and then you should have the thing operating again. So it's a pretty simple fix, but and it's also a very, very easy thing for somebody to make the mistake of sticking their finger in there to check something, and then all of a sudden you've thrown this entire system out of whack.